Hey everybody, it's that time again, and it's cold and it's wet outside, so nothing else I can be doing, so I decided to come in here and get on with a few jobs. So, pull up a chair, crack open a cold snack, and get some jalapeno chips. Let's see where we get to. What I want to do today is make up a new bracket for this oil cooler. Now, if you remember, that was just bolted onto there when it was built, or when the conversion was done, and over the years that's just vibrated and it snapped the ear off on the oil cooler. I could have turned it upside down, turned the oil cooler upside down and bolted on using the ear at the other end, but that's broken off too. So this is obviously a recurring theme with these. So what I've decided to do, I've got a new oil cooler in a box here. I think I've shown this already. Not quite the same size and shape, but it is the same area, cooling surface. So rather than just stick it onto that ear and wait for it to wear up and vibrate and drop off again, what I've decided to do is to make a proper little bracket to hold the whole thing together so that it will last a little bit longer. That's probably lasted 25 years, so yeah, I could easily do it, but what's the point? Let's just do the job properly and then we can forget about it. Might even be able to make it look nice. I'll see if I've got some silver mist paint. I think I have. If not, I'll have to make do with flint grey and hope nobody notices. Anyway, let's start getting stuff measured up and see where it takes us. So here's what we're going to do. Got a little piece of angle here. What's that? About 3/4 by 3/4 by an 1/8, something like that. A bit of 1/8 inch flat bar. So I will make up a little support for the bottom out of 2 lengths of this angle and a couple of short bits of this bar. Get some long 6mm bolts, that long, that I can weld onto the support at the bottom and bring up to the top. A couple of little plates on the top, springs, and then nuts to hold it all secure, and then a couple of bits of this old baler belt for it to sit on to absorb a little bit more of the shocks. There you go. That ought to do the job, and keep it lasting, keep it going for a little bit more than 20 years, I hope. It's always handy having a few of these bits of baler belt around. This one's actually off a Greenland 167, I think it was, RV 167, which was actually a lovely baler, but a bit dated nowadays. Anyway, got plenty of this, so let's get working. Cut the bits of angle out and those 2 little pieces of flat stock there, how I want them. So that's all lined up, all measured up nicely. Nice smooth ends. So let's get the electric kettle 2000 out and see if we can snot that together. Right, I've got the old Snotinator 2000 fired up. Well, actually it's only a Snotinator 150, but handy little things, these little inverters. And before anyone tells me I should get a proper welder, I have got a proper welder, I just want to use this one. You see, I have got a proper welder. There you go. A grinder and paint make me the welder I ain't. Anyway, let's get that cleaned up and drilled out for the next phase. There you go. I'm sure I've done it wrong, but too bad. Right, that's how that is going to sit. So let's get it drilled out so we can get those threaded through. Why can I never find a decent centre punch? Every time I buy one, it's gone within days. Right, I have put the bolts through. Just put it together so I can tack those on, get them in the right place. Then I'll take the cooler off and weld them on properly. Okay, let's let that cool for a minute. Then I'll start to measure up the rubber and just cut those two little bits of plate for the top, drill them out so we can put the rubber on top and make up the plates where it's going to bolt on underneath. Okay, so I have cut out, drilled and ground down the two little fellas to go on the top here. I've done the two of these that will be welded across the back there to bolt it on, and cut out my 4 little bits of rubber padding to hold it all together. Okay, next step, get the Snotonator 150 out again and stick those bits on the back. Okay, I have dialed the snot factor back to about 70, positioned that in there. It's pretty close to being at right angles, close enough for this job anyway. Exactly 5.5 inches top to bottom from the other one, which will fit the front of the 590 nicely. So let's blob that in place. And there we have it. Done. Mounting bolt holes on the bottom. Distribute the forces on the top. It's going to have the rubbers in there obviously to just to take a bit of the shock. I haven't decided whether I will just put some springs between the nuts and the top plates there yet. I'll see how it goes. Anyway, next job, get it taken apart again and I'll get some undercoat on it. It's not a great day for painting today, so that's probably not going to be today. And then I will get it fitted. But here's a thought. From start to finish this job with only some fairly basic tools. Alright, yeah, I've got a reasonably good workshop here. It took me 1 hour and 40 minutes to do this job. When that thing was first fitted, I doubt it took a lot longer than that to get it all in place. By the time they drilled the holes up, tried it on, bolted it on, maybe an hour it took them. It's one thing I really hate is when you get a piece of machinery come in and it's got some bits of old, I don't know what, bedsteads and stuff all welded onto it. Nothing's cut square, nothing's been filed down. There's bits of old weld where it's been broken off something and it's not been ground or tied up and it's paint left on it. I mean, that's what people think of when they think of farm workshop repairs, but it doesn't have to be like that. As I said, this thing probably cost me, I don't know, maybe £6 in rods, a couple of bolts and those bits of stock we have there, and 1 hour and 40 minutes of my time. It's not difficult to do the job properly, and take a pride in your work. Do something that you can look back at and be proud of and say, yeah, look at it, or show somebody else even, say, look, I did that. It's not hard. Anyway, thanks for watching, and see you all soon. Bye. Right, I'll get some silver mist on there tomorrow. And remember, grinder and paint are your friends.